On April 13th, 2029, a Friday the 13th no less, an asteroid the size of the Eiffel Tower will hurtle past Earth at 28,000 miles per hour, coming closer to our planet than many of our communication satellites. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a distant future scenario. This is happening in less than 5 years, and millions of people will be able to see it with their naked eyes as it streaks across the night sky. Its name? Apophis, named after the ancient Egyptian god of chaos and destruction. And for nearly 2 decades, this space rock has been the source of both scientific fascination and genuine fear. But here's the question that's been dividing experts and keeping space agencies busy. Should we be worried? Is Apophis a ticking time bomb racing toward a catastrophic collision with Earth? Or is this the greatest astronomical spectacle of our lifetime? A once-in-a-generation opportunity to study a potentially dangerous asteroid up close. Welcome to Space Prime. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into the most controversial space rock of the 21st century. Because the truth about Apophis isn't just about whether we should be afraid. It's about whether humanity is finally ready to defend itself against the cosmos. Apophis at a glance. Let me paint you a picture of exactly what we're dealing with here. Apophis is roughly 330 to 450 meters across. That's about the length of 4 football fields, or, as I mentioned, roughly the size of the Eiffel Tower. In asteroid terms, that makes it significant, but not catastrophic on a global scale. We're not talking about the kind of dinosaur-killing monster that ended the Cretaceous period. But make no mistake, if this thing hit a major city, the devastation would be unprecedented in human history. The story of Apophis begins in 2004, when astronomers Roy Tucker, David Tholen, and Fabrizio Bernardi discovered this space rock during routine observations. At first, it seemed like just another near-Earth asteroid joining the growing catalog of cosmic debris that crosses our planet's orbit. But then, the calculations started coming in, and everything changed. Initial orbital projections suggested something terrifying. There was up to a 2.7% chance that Apophis would slam into Earth on April 13, 2029. That might not sound like much, but in astronomical terms, those are lottery-winning odds for a cosmic catastrophe. The asteroid was given a level 4 rating on the Torino Impact Hazard Scale, the highest rating ever assigned to an asteroid at that time. For a brief, terrifying moment, humanity faced the possibility that we had just 5 years warning before a space rock would deliver a blow equivalent to hundreds of nuclear weapons detonating simultaneously. But science doesn't panic. Science calculates. As more observatories turned their instruments toward Apophis and gathered additional data points, the orbital predictions became more refined. Within months, those improved calculations delivered news that allowed the entire planet to exhale. The probability of impact dropped to essentially 0. The Torino scale rating was downgraded to 0. The immediate threat was over, but Apophis wasn't done making headlines. Are we safe for a century? Fast forward to today, and NASA has delivered what should be the final word on the Apophis threat. This asteroid poses no impact risk to Earth for at least the next 100 years. That's not scientific speculation. That's based on precision radar tracking, gravitational modeling, and orbital calculations, so accurate they can predict the asteroid's position decades into the future. But let's talk about just how close this cosmic visitor is going to get, because the numbers are genuinely mind-bending. On April 13, 2029, Apophis will pass within 31,600 kilometers of Earth's surface. That's about 19,600 miles. To put that in perspective, our geostationary satellites, the ones that provide your GPS navigation and satellite TV, orbit at 35,786 kilometers above Earth. Apophis will pass between us and some of our own technology. This will be the closest approach of an asteroid this size in recorded human history. And here's what makes it even more remarkable. Earth's gravity will be so strong at that distance that it will actually change Apophis's orbit around the Sun. The asteroid will literally be deflected by our planet's gravitational field, altering its cosmic trajectory forever. Now, you might be wondering about all those tiny factors that can influence an asteroid's path over time. What about the Yarkovsky effect, the subtle push that asteroids get when they absorb sunlight and re-radiate it as heat? What about potential collisions collisions with smaller asteroids that could nudge Apophis off course? NASA has modeled all of these possibilities. They've accounted for gravitational perturbations from other planets, solar radiation pressure, the rotation of the asteroid itself, and even the possibility of tiny impacts from space debris. The conclusion remains the same: no threat for 2029 and no threat for the foreseeable future. But here's where the story gets interesting. While 2029 is safe, that incredibly close flyby is going to do something unprecedented to Apophis, and that's where things get complicated. Why scientists aren't letting their guard down. Even though NASA has declared Apophis safe for the next century, scientists around the world are not relaxing their vigilance, and there's a very good reason for that. When Apophis makes its close approach in 2029, Earth's gravitational field won't just deflect its orbit slightly, it's going to fundamentally alter the asteroid's relationship with our planet. The flyby will change Apophis's orbital period, its rotation rate, and potentially even its physical structure. Here's the concern that keeps planetary defense experts awake at night. While the 2029 flyby is safe, it could theoretically position Apophis for a future impact during a later orbital return. These potential impact zones are called gravitational keyholes, tiny regions in space where a passing asteroid could be nudged just enough to set up a collision course years or decades later. Now, before you start planning your underground bunker, let me be clear. The probability of Apophis passing through one of these keyholes is extremely small. We're talking about hitting a target smaller than a football field from millions of miles away. But the consequences would be so significant that space agencies aren't taking any chances. That's why two major space missions are currently being prepared to study Apophis up close. The European Space Agency is launching the Ramses mission in 2028, designed to rendezvous with Apophis before its Earth flyby. Ramses will characterize the asteroid's composition, study its spin rate and surface features, and monitor how it behaves as it approaches our planet's gravitational influence. Meanwhile, NASA's OSIRIS-APEX mission, a repurposed version of the successful OSIRIS-REx asteroid sample return mission, will conduct a post-flyby encounter with Apophis. This spacecraft will study how Earth's gravitational pull may have altered the asteroid's surface, spin, and internal structure. These missions aren't just scientific curiosity projects, they're insurance policies. By understanding exactly how Apophis responds to gravitational influences, scientists can make even more precise predictions about its future behavior and eliminate any lingering uncertainties about long-term impact risks. Threat or showcase? Now let's address the elephant in the room: the media coverage surrounding Apophis. If you've seen headlines about this asteroid, you've probably encountered phrases like "God of Chaos asteroid," "space rock that could hit Earth," or "doomsday asteroid approaches." These sensational descriptions sell clicks and generate views, but they also spread unnecessary fear about an event that should be celebrated, not feared. The reality is this: April 13th, 2029 will offer humanity the greatest astronomical spectacle in living memory. This will be the closest known passage of an asteroid of this size in recorded history. Apophis will be visible to the naked eye across Europe, Africa, and Asia as it arcs through the night sky, appearing as bright as some stars and moving visibly in real time. Think about that for a moment. You'll be able to step outside, look up, and watch a 1,000-foot wide piece of the early solar system cruise past Earth at cosmic speeds. No telescope required, no special equipment needed, just you, the night sky, and a front row seat to one of the most remarkable events in astronomical history. This isn't a threat, it's a once-in-a-lifetime learning opportunity and a spectacular reminder of our planet's place in the cosmic neighborhood. But beyond the spectacle, the Apophis encounter represents something much more significant: a test of humanity's growing ability to track, study, and potentially defend against cosmic threats. Why Apophis still matters. Here's why the Apophis flyby is so important, even though we know it's not going to hit us. First, it's a natural laboratory in motion. As Apophis passes through Earth's gravitational field, our planet's pull may cause what scientists call asteroid quakes, seismic activity within the space rock that could alter its surface features, change its spin rate, or even cause landslides on its surface. We'll be watching in real time as a celestial body is reshaped by gravitational forces, sources. Second, the data we gather will be invaluable for refining planetary defense tools. Every measurement we take of Apophis, its composition, structure, response to gravitational influences, and surface properties, will help us better understand similar asteroids that might pose genuine threats in the future. Third, this event is testing our global coordination and monitoring capabilities. Space agencies from around the world are collaborating to track Apophis, share data, and coordinate observation campaigns. It's essentially a practice run for dealing with a real cosmic threat. And finally, Apophis is serving as a powerful reminder that Earth is not invulnerable. While this particular asteroid poses no danger, it represents the thousands of near-Earth objects we haven't discovered yet, some of which may be on collision courses with our planet. Should we be concerned? So, should we be concerned about Apophis in 2029? The short answer is no. Not for impact, not for catastrophe, not for any immediate threat to life on Earth. NASA's calculations are solid, the orbital predictions are precise, and the probability of collision is effectively zero. But should we be concerned about our long-term preparedness and what Apophis represents? Absolutely yes. The Apophis encounter reminds us that Earth exists in a cosmic shooting gallery, surrounded by asteroids, comets, and debris that occasionally cross our path. Most are harmless, some are spectacular, but eventually, statistically inevitably, we will face a genuine threat. The good news? We're not just helpless bystanders anymore. We've entered an era where we can track these cosmic visitors with unprecedented precision, analyze their properties in detail, and, as demonstrated by NASA's recent DART mission, even alter their orbits if necessary. Apophis isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of humanity's transition from cosmic sitting ducks to active defenders of our planet. And that should make us all feel a little safer about our future among the stars. What do you think? Are you excited to witness this historic flyby in 2029? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on all the latest developments in planetary defense and space exploration, subscribe to Space Prime and hit that notification bell, because when it comes to cosmic events like this, you definitely don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching Space Prime. Until next time, keep looking up, but don't worry too much about what you see up there.